Well, this is currently the scene from my front yard. If there's ever a time that I was going to feel lazy, being 34 weeks pregnant and it's snowing and it's cold, I'm forcing myself out of the house because otherwise I'm just going to sleep all day. Knox is over with his tia, grandma, playing in the snow at her house, and Julian is like test driving a truck or something. I don't know. I need a few hours of work. It's not gonna happen here. So here we go. Hey, what's up guys? On this week's episode of the pregnancy vlog, I'm gonna talk about, well, I guess I filmed and documented everything that's going on with me personally as a 34-week pregnant woman dealing with all of the stuff surrounding the coronavirus and the quarantine and just trying to prep for birth with all the stuff happening at hospitals and everything. Street Parking Mama's coach, Carolina, also interviewed my doula, Erica, about what she sees and what advice she might have to moms in a similar situation and kind of the things that she's telling me and prepping me for. So this week was definitely a little bit of an emotional roller coaster that I think we got put on to a good track by the end. What's up, everybody? It's Saturday, March 14th, and today I am 34 weeks pregnant. I am here on my couch, my belly out, and I don't know if you can see that, but the fireplace turned on. It's snowing outside here in Washington, which is, we're in southern Washington, so it's not very common. It's maybe like once or twice a year that it snows. It was 60 degrees a few days ago, but feeling good. Have been getting back to getting good sleep. Not really coughing anymore, a little bit here and there. And absolutely cannot believe that I only have 6 weeks left. Or I should say 5 to 7 weeks. I've been saying 5 to 7 weeks because who knows? So if you watched last week's episode, you know that I was doing all sorts of crazy things to try to get baby B to flip. You saw me doing the inversions and the moxibustion sticks and just modifying the workouts even more. And even this week, what you didn't see on last week's vlog, because this just happened this week, I was putting ice packs on my belly and playing music down by where I wanted his head to move, and just all the things that if you ask or Google how to get your baby to flip, I was doing. And I was set on Tuesday to have an appointment at the birth center so that I could finally find out if it worked. It's Tuesday, March 17th, and I haven't really been filming too much this week just because the whole coronavirus thing is going on, and there's just a lot of anxiety that everyone is having. We live in Washington, so it's where the most deaths have happened and the second highest number of cases in the US. So everything here is like shut down, and everything's been canceled, and yeah, we're really busy at street parking, obviously, because people need to work out at home, so that's cool, and we're glad that we can help. I've also been having just extreme anxiety about baby B being breech, because I already have like a really big issue with hospitals given my past with my car accident and the ER and everything that happened with that. And which is why I choose a birthing center in the first place. But I know that if he doesn't turn, that I'll more than likely be having him in the hospital and even having surgery. I had an appointment today, and I've been like really looking forward to it for the past like week at least, to have them tell me if all this stuff that I've been doing to turn him worked, because I still can't really tell. like this appointment today is the only thing that's kept me like sane. Like, okay, they're gonna tell me if I can go get acupuncture or what else I need to be doing if it's not working or what the plan is. And just this morning they called and told me that they're not seeing anyone that's under 36 weeks. So I won't know what's going on or what position he's in or what the plan is or what I'm gonna have to do for 2 full more weeks. And I'm just, honestly, I'm like devastated. Like, this is really, like, I'm not sick. My family's not sick. They sent an email last night saying that I could only bring one person with me, but then this morning just fully canceled it. So I told them my concerns and told them that, like, I'm not even sleeping at night. The last few appointments, they've confirmed that he's breached. Like, I need to know what I'm gonna do. This, like, is really affecting me. And they said that they would call me back. And I said, okay, well, I hear from someone today. And they said within the next few days. So that's where we're at. Not cool. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
One of the hardest things about, everything that's been going on is that they've been putting a lot of stipulations at hospitals, and not only that, it's been transferring over to the midwifery as well, where we had the plans to have our baby boy. And usually, things are flowing pretty smoothly, but with all the changes that have been happening, it was adding a lot of anxiety to Miranda. And not having clear answers is always the biggest obstacle for me, is because I like to give the comfort needed for situations like that. But so I was really weighing heavily on and depending on that appointment, so that way she can have some peace of mind knowing where baby B was positioned, or just having an idea. And when they canceled it, it was a little hard because the night before she had an emotional day. And one thing I said, hey, look, like, we got tomorrow to look forward to. So when tomorrow came and they canceled that appointment about 3-4 hours beforehand, it kind of crushed me a little bit, knowing that that was my safety net. And then, but once that did happen, it just got her thinking, and her alternatives, that she kept getting updates, and she presented me with one, and that's when I was like, all right, great. And then everything has been seeming to unfold as the days keep passing. So
if you've been watching this vlog from the beginning, you know that one of the things that I considered the very early in the pregnancy was having our baby at home. Of course, if his head is still up, that's not an option. I mean, some people might say that it is. I don't know for me that I'm comfortable with that. So I started wishing even more that I knew what position baby B was in, because it started feeling more and more that even the birth center, it just wasn't a comforting environment anymore. It didn't feel like somewhere I wanted to go and that I could relax enough to have a baby in, because of how they're having to be at this point in time. So I was like, even more bummed that I couldn't figure out what position the baby was in, because I wanted to potentially look into switching to having a home birth if that was an option. And I started talking to Julian about it and brought up again, like, hey, like, if we can get confirmation about what position this baby is in, I'm thinking about just doing it here. And it's a conversation that we had.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've always said I feel comfortable with what you feel confident in, because then I can just help fuel that fire. And you seem very confident about this new route. It seems like we might be taking that route. And so, hey, like, I know how much you educate yourself as well, and you let me know what you're really feeling. And you feel very confident about it. So.
Yeah, so of course, finding a midwife that has availability when you're almost 35 weeks pregnant, I didn't know if that was even possible. I'm lucky. I have a big Instagram following that I can like reach out to. And I honestly just on a whim threw out on Instagram, hey, if you're a midwife or if you know of a midwife in the Vancouver, Washington area who can do a home birth, please send me a message. And I got some messages and I started reaching out to some of these referrals. I spoke to 3 midwives. One of them was full. And the other 2 were open to taking on somebody new. And I think the way that I presented myself probably helped, because, I told them, like, I've done an unmedicated water birth before. This is my second pregnancy. I was planning on a birth center. And both of the ones that I ended up like interviewing told me that the only reason that they were considering it is because I'm actually a good candidate. They said that they've been reached out to a lot by moms who are like really close to their due dates and had never considered a home birth or an unmedicated birth before and are now like scrambling. And I can feel that I'm sure that's happening a lot. So I do feel lucky that not only like am I confident in being able to do it at home because I've done a similar situation before, but that these midwives are willing to potentially take me on. But I did have to tell them I don't know what position this baby's in, and I was supposed to find out earlier this week. I think I started calling them on Wednesday. I was supposed to find out, and they canceled my appointment, and so I was honest, like, I can't tell you for sure that my baby's head down, and I know that's a big deal. So one of the ones that we had like a Zoom call with, she said, listen, whether you choose me or not, I can tell that this is really weighing on you. It's causing a lot of anxiety. We're nearby. I have an ultrasound machine that I can bring to your home, and I can tell you what position the baby's in so that you at least know what you're working with. Oh, yeah. So you don't have to wait 2 more weeks to go to the birth center for them to tell you. And that was so great. They came over the next day and they brought the ultrasound machine. I was nervous to find out.
No. So it's down.
It's not necessarily where it should be. Shouldn't it be over here?
Well, you still have some time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little diagonal. It's not like down in your pelvis yet, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. So this is his butt up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See how there's that kind of halo there in white?
He's in the lock position.
Midwives just left.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what happened.
They used their little portable ultrasound machine. And they said that his head, at least when they did it, was like over here. Which isn't like in my pelvis, but it's definitely down. And I like almost didn't believe them. Like I wanted them to check like 5 times to make sure. But this lump that I've been feeling sometimes right here and sometimes right here, they definitely said is his butt. So he is moving around a lot, but they said that his head is down and it's very rare for him to move it back up once it's down there. He's kind of at a diagonal. He's not like perfectly up and down, but we also have 5 more weeks, so they said not to worry about that.
So the home, you're looking at home. We are looking at home birthing option. What did that do to help with your thought process with going into this option now that everything's been pretty chaotic?
Yeah, it was the only thing that like, I know that some midwives will do a breech vaginal birth, but I do know how many more risks there are with that, and I didn't know if I was comfortable going that far with it. So just having his head down was really the only thing that I needed to feel comfortable, I think, with moving forward with trying to figure out how to do this here. I don't know that I'll make like a final decision like today. We got to talk to our doula and, you know, just like watch the news for another day or two and see which direction things seem to be going. But it does seem peaceful and it seems like my biggest issue when I had Knox was that I couldn't relax. And with the way that I feel about the birth center even now, with how they've been acting with everything that's going on, I don't feel relaxed going there. I feel like if I sneeze or cough, they're gonna like kick me out or something, you know, and I can't take my people with me and everything. So
Your tribe.
yeah, and especially Knox, it was a really big deal to have him. He comforts me, you know, so yeah. Oh, So before I found out his head was down, and I'll probably still keep doing it. I mean, he likes it. That's a really good question. I wanted to figure out what kind of music will he want to come down here for. Like, to be honest, I played Coco, the soundtrack, because Knox loves Coco, and I don't know, in my head it looks more like Julian than Knox does, so I thought Coco seemed appropriate. And, I don't even want to admit this. I played the Justin Bieber playlist on Spotify. It's just good vibes. And some like pop station, just like good, beat, happy, fun music, I guess. And he moves around a lot. Knox has been in a singing phase. And he moves around a lot when Knox sings. So just some of those Disney songs that we'll find Knox singing sometimes. You know, I was thinking about just pregnancy and how when you are trying to get pregnant and you envision being pregnant, you want it to be this just like magical time where you're just connecting with your baby and all of this. And my first pregnancy was was definitely not like that. We had a lot of chaos going on. And so I was like, oh, my second pregnancy, it's going to be so much more peaceful because we're in such a better place with our like relationship and everything. And yeah, I mean, so the whole thing has been chaotic. A lot of it we've brought on ourselves, like with the remodel and stuff like that. And we're just busy with our business. But it seems like ever since we got home from Disneyland, it's been one thing after the other. It was the website, then it was Instagram, then it was the global pandemic, and it's just been, and still with the remodel. I think we're 8 weeks into the remodel now, so we're 2 months of having randos in our house all day long. Yeah, I'm excited for them to be done. I think they've got about 2 weeks left, and I actually was talking to you this week about one of the reasons that I'm working so hard and working so hard with our staff and trying to be just on top of it is because I do want to, once I hit like 37 weeks, pull away and just be with Knox and be with baby B and be at home. And, you know, because I don't plan on having another baby. So this is it. This is my last 5 weeks of being pregnant, probably ever.
Yeah. So I feel the same way. I think that for me, it's just been literally taking one day at a time and not thinking of all the things that have been adding stress because, I don't know, I guess that's just my attitude towards things. I don't know. It's been quite a journey, though, for sure. I always know, though, the biggest thing to take care of in the situation is you, so that way you could be as peaceful as possible when it comes to all this stuff. But you know, for me now, more of like the idea of everything, like having the 2 boys and everything has been like really kicking in. And as I can see him moving nonstop and all those things, it's becoming extremely, extremely special for sure. And now with like the new adjustment that we're going to make, it's like everything just feels right. It's like landing where it needs to be.
One of the things that's been really hard with everything that's going on, I would say, is that with Knox, I feel like we can protect him because we can just keep him home and we can just keep him with us. And for however long it needs to be, we could just be, you know, locked into wherever we're at and protect our family. And with baby B, it's like I need help getting him out. So I have to let somebody in, or I have to go somewhere to do that. And I can't do that. I mean, technically I can do that. People have done it for centuries on their own. But I was telling him earlier this week that I feel like it's like almost hard. I want to protect him from everything, but right now I feel like I can't because at some point I've got to let somebody else in to help get him out of me so that then I can just take him and keep him and protect him. And I mean, the last thing I want him to see, for the very first thing he sees in his entire life, is some doctor in a hazmat suit catching him. That's just not, I mean, it's got to happen and people are doing it. And I know that that's kind of the scene, but it's not at all what I want for him. And I just, I'm excited to get past that point to where then we can just have him at home and take care of him and protect him and, you know. But right now it feels a little bit like I don't have complete control. And I was telling him, like, I feel like I'm the only person that really sees him as a person right now, because I can feel him. And to me, this whole like not getting the proper treatment, having appointments canceled, it's no different to me than if we were concerned about something being wrong with Knox and them canceling his appointments. Like, this is our child. Like, how are you not going to check on him when we don't know what position he's in or all of this stuff? To me, it's no different. And I know that that's something that only a mom can feel at this stage. But I think that's been one of the reasons it's been so emotional, is because I just want to take care of my baby and I just want to get him out safely so that we can take care of him together. All right. And what started out this week with, I didn't know what the topic was going to be, turned into quite the busy week with a lot going on. Next week, we'll find out more about which midwife we've chosen and if we're going to go with the home birth or what's going to happen that way. And we'll see if there's even more restrictions on just our daily life and trying to get through this pregnancy during such a crazy time. So we'll see you next time.